to make it happen.
My mom wanted to be fabulous. She wanted things bigger. She was from Newark, New Jersey, and she came over to the New York side and never looked back. She got a job at Lord & Taylor as a makeup artist, having never gone to beauty school or anything, never went to college, and she was a spitfire. My dad fell in love with this bombshell of a woman, and I think she just zeroed in like a heat-seeking missile to this beautiful man, jet black hair, dapper dressing, very conservative man. Now, my dad went away for a while to work. He came back and saw her out to here and kind of just, in a way, forced her to marry him.
Suburbia is a woman's world.
My mom wasn't going to be any kind of a wife that my dad anticipated and envisioned, and she just fought it. She just divorced him without even telling him. I just sort of grew up knowing them apart.
To be on your own as a mother in those days, you had to be incredibly strong, and Terry was a force of nature.
With my mom, we just had so much fun. There was this like bohemian existence. Then I go to my dad's, where it was like tradition, tradition, tradition. Dinner at 6 every night. Everything was routine and regimented. There's not a lot of feeling and emotion in it, but it was great because it was calm.
A cut heals better when it's kept covered. As long as your child has a scab on her cut, she needs a Band-Aid brand adhesive bandage.
I did a Band-Aid commercial. I did hair shampoo commercials where I had to run around in a circle and they put a rope around my midriff so that they could just keep me at the right distance from the camera. By the end of the day, I had like rope burns around my stomach.
My blouses don't cling anymore. Our towels smell cleaner and fresher. My dress is much softer now. Discover the Bounce Touch.
The sort of whispers around the school of like, she's gone to California. 3rd grade, 4th graders, like where'd she go? And I would remember seeing the ad campaigns come in, like opening the paper and seeing her face. And it was hard to comprehend. I just always remember thinking, like, I hope she's okay. She was a young girl in an all-adult world.
For many decades, modeling was one of the very few ways that a woman could make a lot of money. And certainly from the beginning of advertising, the ideal female body type was curvy, often voluptuous.
As late as the mid-60s, Hollywood was still working off of a sexual idea based on Marilyn Monroe, a bombshell, an exaggerated sexuality, but that was still an adult sexuality.
Women who epitomized ideal sexuality were grown women. They were at least in their 20s, and they had voluptuous women's bodies. Marilyn Monroe, I think she was, a size 14 or something like that. Sophia Loren, Ava Gardner. They were grown women, and they were not children when they were presented as sexual ideals.
A new movement for women's liberation is launched, and once again protesters take to the street to support their demands for total freedom.
We see Roe v. Wade, we see sexual harassment laws come into being, we see second-wave feminism.
This revolution, and it is a revolution, not a reform, is about humanizing both roles, not exchanging them.
One of the responses of the dominant culture to the rise of feminism was the sexualization of little girls. It's almost as if we're told, okay, you're not going to be traditionally feminine, which traditionally meant powerless, submissive, dependent. We'll replace you with little girls.
She's got a beautiful face. She has beautiful hair, eyes, nose, mouth, and a beautiful body. I mean, she's incredible.
The modeling modeling work that Brooke did started very cute. She looks very innocent, looks very sweet. Then everything changed. You can see the shift in how she is being presented to us. She's wearing fewer clothes. The posing has changed. The mood is shifting dramatically.
And when you put a child in a very sexualized position, girls are seductive, that they're deliberately provocative, that they're somehow going along with all of this.
I didn't feel uncomfortable, nor did I feel embarrassed. You know, as a model, your body is just to be dressed and put out there. So I didn't have that awareness of my budding puberty, you know, because I was years away from any of that.
The matter of women and girls sort of displaying sexuality is really tricky. We want girls and women to have agency, but the perception of how that agency affects ourselves and how it affects the culture, it's not the same thing, especially when you're dealing with minors. It's not a fair game.
I think Brooke's sort of like a work of art, and like any beautiful painting. I think the world should enjoy Brooke and view her.
And you yourself have said, and I quote, ever since Brooke was a baby, she's been encouraged to be sensual. So can't someone say to you that you are exploiting the sensuality of a child?
Well, if that's all I was doing, probably yes. But that's not all I'm doing with Brooke or what Brooke is doing.
Did you hurt your back? What am I doing wrong? Mom is trying to reach the other end of the pool.